All right.
So, okay, we're going to Emily now. I'm not sure if I need to talk because I don't
I got it.
DJ Emily.
Emily, are you with us?
Pretty please. Yes, Emily. It says she's on.
Yeah, I don't know if she's Emily, we can't hear you, Ethan.
Time out 1 second. Were you not able to hear Emily?
No.
Maybe because you were muted.
Hang on. I think I know how to fix that. 1 second, Emily. I apologize.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, Emily.
Can you hear me now, Jenna?
Yes, ma'am.
1 second. Okay, say something.
Hi, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ethan. All right, Emily. So you have a house that you've been to that you are convinced is haunted. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a very old home. It used to be a country club, and we're located on the south side of Chicago, in a kind of sort of rural area. It's the suburbs, but this home used to be a country club, and it was converted into a residential home.
Okay.
So if you'd like, I can go ahead and share my story right now.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Great. Okay, so I have slept in this home in the upstairs bedroom a couple times, like 2 or 3 times. And the first couple times I slept there, I felt totally comfortable. And then I think it was probably the 3rd time we hosted a festival on these grounds with, I think, about 42 DJs. Cool. It was an amazing festival. But after I went to sleep in the early hours of the morning, I went down the stairs. I turned the light switch on. And then I went downstairs. I was only downstairs for about maybe 3 minutes. Came back up the stairs. The light was off.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke my boyfriend up in the bed and I said, "Did you turn the light off?"
Like the switch was down?
No, I've been asleep.
Yeah, was the switch flipped, or did the light just go off or go on?
Yes, there is a light switch that flipped, and it's like one of those old ones, so it really clicks in. And he's
can I
like,
ask a question?
"No, I've been asleep the whole time."
Can I ask you a question?
So he's like, "You know what? That's happened before several times in this house when I used to live here a long time ago." So he wasn't surprised at all when I told him that the light switch turned itself off.
Is it possible that somebody else in the house walked by it and just thought there was a light on at the middle of the night and turned it off? Is that possible?
Nope. I asked everyone that was in the house, "Did you turn that light switch off?" And his mom was like, "No." I asked his dad, "Did you turn the light switch off?" He was like, "No."
Is it possible that
one light switch is up at the top of the hallway?
Is it possible that somebody in the house sleepwalks?
I don't think so, because they all confirmed that there's been really spooky stuff that has been happening in that house ever since they lived there.
The light switch is at the top of the stairs. There's not another one at the bottom of the stairs? I know a lot of 2-story
houses, yeah.
When they got the light switch at the top and the light switch at the bottom. So is that? It's not like that though. It's just one at the top.
I think there might be a light switch at the bottom of the stairs, but I did ask everyone that was in that house, and I think it was just his mother and father that, "Hey, did you turn this light switch off?" And they were like, "No." They were awake.
Were there any kids in the house?
6 a.m. or something? 5 a.m.?
Were there any kids? I just ask because kids my kids will do that to each other. We have a stairwell with light switches like that, and they'll flip them off on each other. Wait till they get
No, there were no children in the house. I think it was just his mom and his dad.
So his parents, you, and him, the only ones in the house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go on.
He doesn't sleepwalk or do any kind of crazy stuff in his sleep. I am very confident that he was in the bed snoring the whole time, or not maybe snoring, but just
I wish,
out like light.
I so
you
wish
know?
that I could investigate this light switch.
What was that, Jenna?
I wish that I could get like a close up view and like mess with this light switch and try to investigate it.
If you've ever been in a really old home where
I
they
grew
have
up in
like the
one.
really old light switches,
Yeah.
they're real clicky and they're
Yeah.
real like firm, not like the common light switches that we have installed in our new homes now.
Right.
And this light switch, it literally, I flipped it up, and when I came upstairs, it was flipped down.
Did you hear it flip
I'm
down,
almost
or was it
certain
already flipped down?
that it was a ghost.
Did you hear it flip down, or was it already flipped?
No, I didn't hear it flip down, and he didn't hear it flip down because he was just kind of, knocked out cold. He had been up all night. We were hosting a festival, and we even still had people on the grounds that were camping. And so he was just super tired. I was super tired, and I went down to use the bathroom, came right back up in like 3 minutes, and that light switch was off.
Is it possible that you in that moment, in that time, you've expressed that you were so tired? And that's something that I've noticed is very common when people experience supernatural things, is they'll always say, I was so tired, or I hadn't slept for days, or something like that. And I think that that's a very common denominator, that when we're tired, our brains can do things and misremember things. And on top of that, it was 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Did you go back to sleep?
I did lay back down, but I am certain that I turned that light switch on, because when I came back up the hallway and up the stairs, it was off, and it completely just gave me chills.
So can I give you a little story and a little example of experience? So I grew up in about 100-year-old home. Okay. So this is a very, very old house, wooden, creaky, my bedroom was above my parents' bedroom. And if you walked across the floor, they could hear you. So they always knew when we were awake. Right. So one night I wake
the
up,
same as this house, what you're describing.
Right.
But go on.
So I shared a room with my two younger sisters, and my bed was in one corner facing out in the room. I had a sister's bed next to me facing out, and then I had another sister had a day bed across the room and kind of facing us. Okay. So there's like a box almost, right?
Okay.
So then there's a bookcase right next to me with an alarm clock on it with a green light that shines out towards my sister's day bed. So I wake up in the middle of the night, and I just open my eyes, and I see this young girl with dark brown hair standing at the foot of both of my sister and my bed, looking at the alarm clock. And she's got this old red, I can see it now, this old red Santa Claus nightgown with that, that itchy lace sleeves that we used to have as kids, like it was just so uncomfortable. And I'm like, is that one of my sisters wearing an old nightgown from when we were kids? And I look over, and one sister, she's in her bed sleeping. And I look over, and I have my other sister, she's in her bed sleeping. And I'm like, who is this? Oh my God, it's a ghost. And I turn over and I just start saying the Our Father until I went to sleep. I just didn't open my eyes again. I was terrified she was going to come eat me or something. And I can tell you right now, I remember exactly what she looked like. I remember her facial expression. I remember her body language. And I don't think that happened. I think that I was sleeping. I think that I was seeing things. I think that I was imagining things, and it burned in my memory, right?
That's like a very lucid dream. Yeah.
Right.
I used to have sleep paralysis.
Wow.
Experiences like that. It can be scary, so scary. But you said that there was other occurrences at the house. Can we get one more? And then we probably got to move on. But you got one more experience from that residence that we could kind of go over?
At the house, there was a picture frame that I believe fell off the wall, and it was a picture of their family, and it literally created like a crack in the shape of a cross right across his father's forehead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was one of the spookiest ones. And I saw it.
If the crack wasn't
And
on his
so
father's forehead,
I don't know whether.
if sorry, I'm sorry, there's a delay. I'm sorry that's messing with us. If the crack wasn't on his father's forehead, would you still be convinced that it was a ghost?
I don't know what I'm convinced of because I'm not super spiritual, but when that experience happened to me, and I know that I turned the light switch on because I was lucid at that point. I got up out of bed and I know I wasn't sleepwalking. I know I wasn't dreaming. I remember switching that light switch on because it's a treacherous staircase that goes down to the first level of the house.
Okay.
And I would not have walked down that staircase in the dark.
Did you walk up it in the dark?
The lights off.
Did you walk up it in the dark?
When I flipped it on, it was in the up position. And then when I came up, it was switched in the down position.
Hey, love.
And he told me that he swears that he didn't flip it off.
Hey, Emily. Did you walk up the stairs in the dark?
Or did you use the switch at the bottom of the stairs?
I went up the stairs. I went up the stairs in the dark and I looked at the light switch and it was off.
Okay. You know, so at this point,
it was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had with the supernatural.
At this point, my impression is I don't know what happened. For me to assume that it's ghosts, I mean, I'd have to have a lot more evidence. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that I would need more than that.
I do like the light switch a lot better than the picture because most pictures, when they fall, they're like in an X shape or a cross shape of some kind. So the light switch, though, that is compelling for investigation. It makes me want to be able to look at it more. The circumstances are kind of unique there because you had the four of you in the house, him laying in the bed, but you also had other people on the property. I don't know if someone.
And keep in mind, it's an old house.
The front door was locked, and I don't think anyone came in.
Old houses do weird things.
I was literally downstairs for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I came right back up, and the light switch was off, and I woke him and said, "Did you turn it off?" And he's like, "No, don't worry about it. Just go back to sleep." That's happened before several times in this house.
They probably didn't. So I think that it probably was the house in some way, because old houses, they creak, doors open randomly and close randomly, and there's no reason. Well, maybe the AC kicked on, or there's so many things that it's just that every time we've ever experienced
it. You couldn't really prove it, but
I'm not saying that.
I'm agnostic and partially atheist as well, so I don't know what to believe. Because you can't prove it one way or another. I mean, I don't believe in organized religion. How the heck did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
sorry, Emily.
Really? How can you believe in a religion?
We've got other callers, love,
who had belly buttons.
I agree with you. I don't know that there was an Adam and Eve. I mean, but
I'm pretty confident there wasn't. So
we've got to move on. But I'm sorry. At this point, I'm inclined to say that it could be the house, but I don't know. I'd need to investigate it further.
It's definitely interesting, though.
It's scary too.
Like what she said about old houses. We lived in an older house, and we had this vent that was up high on the wall, and in the the summer when we turned the AC on, I guess something about the expanding of the metal on the vent. Every time we turned the AC on for the first time, that vent would fall off the wall and scare everybody in the house.
Right. We had doors closing all the time.
Well, it's very questionable. I mean, I don't entirely believe that it was possibly a ghost, but I've never had something really drastic like that happen to me before, other than when I was in 5th grade and a candle exploded in my face while I was playing on a Ouija board.
Oh,
and that was pretty creepy as well.
That sounds like something we might be able to talk about on next time you call in. I like Ouija
I'd
board.
love to call in again. Sure. I love this show. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, so thank you.
compose your Ouija board story and then and give us a call back, okay? Jenna, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. There's so much of a delay right now. It's throwing me off. But thank you so much. We had talked before this, and we weren't sure if we were going to be able to investigate something like this. But thank you for being open and honest. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for accepting my story and accepting my views and everything. And it was really great meeting you guys over the phone and on the internet and everything. I really appreciate you, having me as a part of your show.
We couldn't do the show without you callers, so we appreciate each and every one of you that takes time and waits on the line to talk to us every Tuesday. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Emily.
Great. Well, you guys have a great night. Okay. Thank you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
So we've got, do you want to talk about that before we move on to Ben, or do you want to?
Well, what do we got? We got a few callers.
Oh, we have another caller. No, that one just ended. Yeah. So I mean, I think we kind of resolved it,
Yeah, it really is. Those are the ones that the open-ended ones are the fun ones where it's like, what, maybe it could be something, but we can't tell from here. So it's fun to hear about them, but we can't investigate it. We could maybe investigate something if they were still in the house or whatever. I know Ethan was really eager to do an investigation in somebody's property too. So I don't know when that's supposed to happen. I imagine after quarantine's all open back up, but